And we're live. I see Heather in the house. I see Lauren and Valerie. Good to see you. Dr. Steve in the house. What's up, Tyrone? Marlon? Come on in. Hello, Sue. Nice to see you. So what part of the world are you in today, Stephanie?
I'm in Grand Rapids, Michigan. It was the first time in a very long time where I walked outside and I blew air, I blew air and then I could see it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I don't even know what it's called. What do you call that?
I guess breath steam. I don't know.
Breath steam. Yeah, I was like, what is this? I was like a groundhog. I went through the doors and then I started, exhaling. And then I saw my breath and I was like, oh no. And then I went back.
In true SoCal fashion.
Very much.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. That's a shock
today.
to the system.
I'm wearing flats today, but even just walking on the ground, there's ice on the ground. Never experienced that. So odd.
See if this is a seller getting with me. Maybe this is. So you're wearing flats today. Well,
I was wearing flats today and I couldn't walk and talk because there's ice on the ground. So I couldn't text and talk. I was like, I need to pay attention so I don't slip and fall. It was weird. It was crazy. I was like, this never happens in San Diego.
That's funny. Well, welcome in. Happy Wednesday. The Fed has met and the rates have been paused, just like we expected. So lots of exciting things to cover today. But first off, let's start off the right way. How is your energy? 1 out of 10. Type it in the chat. We got to get welcome in. We got a lot to cover today. A lot has been happening, and it's good to be back in the studio in SoCal, back in the studio. And what an exciting time it is. All right. So I will share with you guys something, and because I always want everything to be perfect, and I had a urgent meeting prior to this on some projects we're working on, and so my normal last 15 minutes of show prep of reading all the news from everything that's happened in the last hour was skipped. So forgive me, and I want to get that out of the way because now as I'm sharing the Market Watch update, you're not going to be surprised if I screw it up. All right. So what's up, Diana? So good to see you. The information will still be just as good, I promise you. Something that I'm going to talk about today when it comes to doing your seller calls and the market is shifting. You hear me say that, somebody come to me at the live event that we just hosted and said to me, the market's shifting. That can be a really good thing or a really bad thing. And I said, you're right. Except it is what we make it. And that's what I pray your takeaway is today from this Deal Room Live is that what's up? Marilyn Davis is a 9.5. What's up, Sharon? Laura Lee's a 10. Krista's a 10. Heck yeah, Susan 8. Keep them coming. So what I want to show you today is, yes, it's shifting, but there's no reason to be nervous if you know how to play the game right. In fact, it's exciting times, in my opinion, to be buying real estate, and one of the most exciting times we've seen in our lifetimes. And so what an exciting season we're in. So we got live calls to make today. We've got some slides I'm going to share, some news articles I'm going to share. And then I have something very special that I want to share with you guys today as well. So diving in today, March 18th, 2026, the Fed chair has just announced the pause on rates. There is no change to rates, which again is just kind of what we figured would happen. Rates are hanging right around that 6% We're going to talk about that, what that means, and more importantly, how you, as a real estate investor, can lean into this market. Days on market. Just so you guys know, we have some updates coming to the deal room, and days on market, DOM. If you see that anywhere in real estate talk, that's days on market. If you see the days on market have increased, which they have been, that means that it's a buyer's market, which means that you, as a real estate investor, can put in more ridiculous offers. And so what we already was buying houses way below value. We already was buying houses on payments, but the market is such where now it's even more so. And so I'm going to do something a little different today. And in the live dialing segment, I have something I think is going to be very helpful for you guys to see. And I'm going to be sharing it with you and exactly how we do this business. So if we can get that, Stephanie, are you able to pull up that slide deck for me? Thank you so much. So I want to point out that the market, with the way it's shifting, the way inflation is shifting, with the 92,000 minus 92,000 jobs in February and the what everybody calls the affordability crisis, is offering us as real estate investors the most glorious opportunity in the last decade at least. When houses sit on the market longer, guess what happens? We get to serve more motivated sellers. But Andrew, what if I can't sell it? Well, I will solve that for you. That's why I love the Boslow method. We buy on payments and we sell on higher payments. And by the way, with rates where they are, prices, we're not seeing any major declines. We're just seeing longer days on markets. So let's go to the next slide. So for each of you, we have rates hanging right at that 6%. I think this last week they was hanging in 6.1%. Now they're back down to right at that 6%. We lost 92,000 jobs in February, and we've noticed a slight rise in inventory. But I want to point out in all the scary news headlines that we're still at about half of the normal inventory. So important to remember when you see inventory is increasing. Yes, and it's not even normal levels of inventory. We're still at about half. The institutional ban on investors, as it's called, that Trump signed the executive order on not long ago, is making its updated way through the House and Senate. However, as most of you probably know, President Trump said he would not be signing anything until the voting laws are passed. All right. So keep in mind, as this is making its way through, understand how the game's played so you can position yourself constantly for more and better success. All right, let's do the next slide. Now, I want to point out that with potential inflation rises, you've seen the inflation come up a little bit. We've seen unemployment tick up slightly. Again, look at the headlines for what they are. And don't just be a headline reader. It's easy to scroll through social media. By the way, if you don't have a morning routine, get one. Make sure you're doing your morning workout, drinking water, and talking to God before you start scrolling news headlines, because I guarantee you 95% of them will be bad news. Whether it's a great market or a bad market, an up market or a down market. I'm going to be sharing this with you. By the way, I see Lauren. Lauren just says, I love the slides. Thank you, Lauren. So shout out to my incredible assistant, my executive assistant, Anya, who put these together for me. And we are putting together a system so that I can have the slides every single week and have them matching the market update that I'm giving you guys. By the way, all of you on YouTube, if it's your first time here, put a 1 in the chat. If you've been here before, put a 2 in the chat. I want to see all my new YouTube folks and shout you out. And again, I have a beautiful gift for you that I think you're going to love. So notice with the bond buyback, notice again, I talk about this all the time, the ultimate scoreboard. Type it in the chat, ultimate scoreboard. I want you guys to think in the ultimate scoreboard. And what I mean by that is there is things going on that are out of control. They're out of our control. And so rather than getting angry at the emotion of politics, or we should be at war, or we shouldn't be at war, the Iranians, people are freeing or have an opportunity at freedom. Whatever your perspective is, look at it for what it is. Say, okay, we are in this conflict with Iran. Got it. Now, oil prices are going up. Got it. Now, unemployment has gone up slightly. Understood. Also, keep in mind that hundreds of thousands of government workers have took early retirement, been laid off. All sorts of things like that have been happening. And so in the past, whether good or bad data, you've seen certain numbers. In fact, they did a big revision earlier this year, if you remember, where they said, oh, wait a minute, we got it wrong on a bunch of the numbers from last year. And so understand that as this is happening, it affects everything. And I want you to look at it in that way, saying, okay, I talk about inflation being able to pay off your debt for you. And this is so important as you're doing this business. What's up? Hey, we got several new folks in the house. What's up, Miguel? What's up, Ron? What's up, crew? So make sure that you're looking at this for what it is and saying, okay, if inflation is going up, if houses are sitting on the market longer, then I just need to adjust my offers accordingly. We either buy houses on payments over time, which I'll talk about, or we buy houses with cash way below value. And I mentioned this, but there's some people right now, I guarantee you, starting to lock this strategy in. They are just spraying out tons of MLS offers at deep discounts and getting some accepted. It's a great time to buy real estate. All right, let's go to the next slide. Now, this is what I want to point out for you. With the inventory growth happening slightly year over year, look at where it's been growing. And notice that this is not so much the case in the states that I talk about, especially in Indiana and Kentucky, where I love to buy, but all of this area. So ask yourself, how do I position myself for success? And notice that we are still way below pre-pandemic levels. In other words, in 2019, if we would have had this number of houses on the market, we wouldn't have been saying, oh, crap, there's an increase in inventory. We would have been saying, oh, crap, there's a housing shortage. All right, so understand that and look at it in context. Next. Here is what I want to point out to you. This is where I love buying in, as most of you know who have followed me for any amount of time. We buy a lot in Kentucky, a lot in Indiana. We like these Midwest markets. In fact, I have a map I'm going to show you in just a moment that Stephanie's going to put up after the slides are done. And it's going to show some very cool data as to where people are moving out from and where they're moving to. So pricing has gone down a little bit in the Far East. You see in Florida, you see in New Jersey, you see in Colorado, you see some down trends on pricing. But overall, nationally, we've grown. And that is because a lot of Midwest markets having substantial increases. So housing prices are still going up and demand is still there. And few more days on the market shouldn't scare us. It should be opportunity. Now, here's what's exciting to me is a couple of years ago, any brain dead person could go put out offers. And if they made the wrong offer and closed the deal, in a short amount of time, they could pretty much sell it and make a profit. And I know it's not quite that level of ease, but you understand what I'm saying, because a lot of markets were appreciating so fast. I know flippers who were buying houses for way more than they should have, but by the time they got done flipping the house, they made $30, $40, $50, $60, $70,000 because the houses were appreciating like crazy a few years ago. What is happening now is not a crash. It is a resurgence of needing to have your facts together and make good offers, make offers that actually give you a place to make money, make offers that can make you good money with bad numbers. Did I miss a lot of opportunities that I could have, quote, made money on? Yes, because I won't play on speculation. It's not the game we're in. We're into buying houses that we for sure can make money on. All right, next slide. This is an interesting piece of data for all my thinker brain folks. You're going to love this part, is that in the past, Average tenor for a homeowner was 6 years. As of December 2025, that has gone up to 12 years. They call this the lock-in effect. Millions of homeowners who are sitting at 2 and 3 and 4% interest debt who don't want to sell or aren't selling because they don't want to have to take on a 6% mortgage and pay off their 2%. Something else you've heard me say a lot is the moment rates reach 5%, another 5.5 million buyers can enter the marketplace, which in effect drives prices up. President Trump has made it abundantly clear that he wants to keep housing prices where the people who have equity aren't losing that equity. And so understand that as you're looking at all the actions that are being done of increasing wages and of keeping inflation under control, but also cautiousness is being taken to not crash the market. All right, next slide. It's already 12:15. Let's skip this one. Let's go to the next one. Institutional band. I want to talk about this because President Trump signed an executive order about people owning more than 100. Now it's been going through the House. Now there's a version just past the Senate 89-10. And this version talks about 350 units being the limit. And so Anya put together the side-by-side for you for your convenience. There is multiple exceptions on these rules, as there is with anything, and ways that you can still invest in properties. But again, if you own less than 350 properties, it's not necessarily going to affect you. And this is what I want for you guys to again be watching, because what actually affects us? FinCEN, the BOI reporting, what actually affects us? Taxes and inflation. Inflation, again, while I don't want inflation to happen for the country because it's bad for the country, it's really good for real estate prices. And so understand how to position yourself for success, which is why I talk so much about you, Shobna, Steve, Judith, Marlon, building legacy wealth. I want you collecting deeds so that every time good things happen, you make money. And when bad things happen, you make even more money. All right, let's go to the next slide. People of wealth think differently than people who are not wealthy. Housing didn't freeze. I want to point this out. It is affected so strongly by payments, which is by interest rates. Again, we bypass banks. We buy on payments. We sell on higher payments. Boss slow. Buy on owner finance, sell on lease option. But rates dipped shortly below 6%, and refinance requests went through the roof. And so I want to point this out because as every single week we're looking at this, it is not to be scary. It's not to necessarily overexcite you or to depress you. It's just to say, hey, let's get smarter every single week so we can position ourselves for success so you can build wealth in the current market. All right, let's go to the next one. Shout out to Stephanie, by the way, out in Michigan, but still running this thing virtually. You're just crushing it always, my friend. I appreciate it. Give it up for Stephanie in the chat. Just give a thanks, Steph, or something. Show her the love. Stephanie always here, setting this thing on fire. All right. With the shift that is happening, why does it excite me? It excites me because there's never been a better time for the two ways we buy houses, which is at least 30% equity. In fact, we're upping that a little bit more on our cash offers. We're requiring even more than 30% equity. And for the debt takeovers, the owner financing, the wraparound mortgages, there's never been a better time because the sellers who a few months ago are going, no, I'm just going to wait for multiple offers. Spring is coming, are now saying, wait a minute, maybe I need to consider some additional options. And if you can take over debts as you can, VA loans and FHA loans, there is hundreds of billions of dollars of these types of deals that can be had over the next few years if you just position yourself for success. All right, next slide. I want to point this out for those of you. I'm getting ready to do live dials in just a moment, and we're going to hopefully some people answer and we negotiate some live deals. In a moment, I'm going to be talking to Valerie, one of our incredible community members. And you guys are going to love getting to meet Valerie. Valerie and Tyrone are just incredible. And she is someone who is just such a special person. I think you're going to get a lot of value from. When it comes to this playbook, what's happening right now as we sit in mid-March is people in February, often a typical market sentiment that I was finding was, hey, we'll just give it some time. Spring's coming. And now with days on the market increasing and with offers not coming in where they thought they were going to come in, us as creative investors, I'm telling you, there's never been a more important time to follow up than right now. If you can get on the phone with buyers, sellers, and you can offer them payments over time at a good price, or you can offer them a low cash value. We talk about on this show how to raise money, how to partner money, how to get business lines of credit, how to do all the things, because I want you to have multiple tools in your tool belt. But I'm telling you, there are people who 3 months ago would have cussed you out for offering them terms who are now praying for your call. Just know that and be the person who's there. Get more calls in. All right, let's go to the next slide. With the institutional ban happening, with the Florida market softening, and with the exceptions around build to rent, I want you to position yourself for success, which to me means get on the phone more and make more offers. Type it in the chat. Make more offers. Make more offers. What's up, Ryan? Good to see you. What's up, Krista? What's up, Sharon? Make more offers. Because the worst thing that can happen is somebody says no, and you'll never get an offer accepted that you don't make. Now, again, you hear me say it all the time. We don't make offers. We ask questions, and we let the sellers make us the offers. Thank you for being here with us live today. We're getting ready to get into live calls. I think we have either one or two more slides I want to cover with you. Let's go ahead to the next one. Oh, yes, last segment. So I want to share with you, I've actually been doing this training with my team and with several of the community members, because a few months ago, you could pretty much, especially a few years ago, put up a house for sale, and if it was in any decent condition, it would sell so fast. All of you have an opportunity to ask your questions. If you have questions, type them in the chat with a Q in the front of them, so Stephanie knows they're questions for me, and I will get to all your questions today on the live as well. So if you are ready to build legacy wealth, we have put together next week a training. I've been doing trainings with my team. I am going to show you how to find deals in the current market, how to underwrite them, how to negotiate them, how to close them, and the hottest thing on everyone's mind that I'm finding, how the heck to sell them fast. Because Andrew, I get that I can go buy lots of houses now if I use the buy slow strategy, but how am I going to sell them? There's never been more important time to understand you're in the money and the marketing business. So I'm going to do a training next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, every night for 1 hour, where I'm going to break all of this and more down for you. How to stay on that cutting edge with AI, how to market your properties, how to get more offers than you have houses, and how to build a foundation of a business. All right. So we're getting ready to do live seller calls, but if you could, Anya, put that link in the chat for me. Also, thank you, Stephanie. I see it's on your screen. You can scan the QR code, and starting Monday, I'm going to be going every single evening, going live to teach you this stuff. So scan the QR code on your screen or click the link in the chat to get your free seat reserved for that Zoom before it fills up. All right, Anya, I know you're hunting up that link, but just ping me once you've dropped it in the chats as well, for anybody who can't get the QR code to scan, or maybe they're in their car and they're on one device. And let me know when you've done that. I want to share this map with you real quick. If we could pull up that news article, Stephanie, before we start doing live dials. I want to share this map with all of you, because this is something that I think showcases very well what's happening. By the way, the 21st Century Road to Housing Act is the name of the bill that's going through the Senate right now. So on this map, The national shortage of affordable rental housing for extremely low income households is laid out for you. And I wanted you to see this. This is a Newsweek article that happens as Stephanie pulled up on your screen for you. Thank you so much. And you'll notice I'm hovering over different ones of these. California, for example, extreme case, which is not where we recommend buying. That's where I'm sitting right now. But 25 out of every 100 people that need affordable housing in California, there's 25 affordable housing units available. In Texas, out of every 100 people that need affordable housing, there is 26 houses available. In other words, there's a way bigger demand for affordable housing in those states than there are houses. Hello there, Mandami. So for each of you, I don't know if you guys heard that or not. I had a video pop up there of on this news page. So for each of you looking at this, you go, okay, even Florida, that's going down in prices right now a little bit. There is only 26 houses available at low income for every 100 households that need it. So in other words, supply and demand is way out of balance. So for those of you who are dabbling in Section 8, you know how I feel about rentals. I'm not so big on them. I do a lot of lease options, but I've had a few Section 8s over the years. It's a tool in your tool belt for sure. In Kentucky, even one of the most affordable housing areas in the country, in Kentucky, there's only 47, for every 100 people that need affordable housing, there's only 47 available. All right. So in other words, we are way underserved in the affordable housing areas. And this is an opportunity for you. This is why I love houses that are at and slightly below median price range. This is why we buy a lot of stuff in Indiana and Kentucky that are $100,000, $200,000, and $250,000. Yes, we have higher priced houses. Yes, we sometimes do the deals, and I like higher priced houses, but I'm telling you, there's an enormous opportunity right now in the lower priced houses. I'm not talking about just war zones. I'm not talking about areas where they get unrenovated as fast as you renovate them. Okay. I've had some houses there. That's not my cup of tea. But I'm talking about areas that are great starter home areas where you can buy houses on payments and sell them on higher payments or rent them out. All right. So let's dive into some live sellers calls. Who's ready? Give me an oh yeah if you're ready in the chat. We're going to make some offers. We're going to see if we can negotiate some deals. And then I have something very special for you. Says Lauren's lead on Lee Road.
Hello.
Jacob, it's Andrew calling you back on the Lee Road house. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good. Did I catch you a good time?
Make it kind of quick, yeah.
Awesome. I'll be quick. I wanted to confirm, from my understanding, you're looking to get 160 out of it, and my partner Lauren told me if we could work out the details, you would entertain doing some owner financing potentially.
Potentially, I like the way you word that. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. What's got you looking to sell the house? Was it just investment property or?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And is it rented right now or it's vacant?
Yeah, they're rented. 1,500 a month.
Okay. 1,500 a month.
But I do pay utilities.
You pay. Okay. How much are the utilities?
I'd say probably, to be honest, he just got in there like 2 months ago, so I don't know if we even get the first set of bill from him being in there. But probably about 200-ish.
Your brave soul paying tenant utilities.
Think so? Well, it was a short term, supposed to be a short term thing, but I think it's going to end up being a longer term thing.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. What's the house worth? What do you think it appraised for?
I think you could do 170.
Yeah.
Or could be wrong, but I mean, you never know.
Okay. Any work that I need to do to the house? I mean, it's already in it sounds like, but is there any?
Yeah, I think it's brand new. as a flip. We flipped it.
Okay.
So everything is new.
Okay.
Like literally everything. The only thing we didn't do is drywall, but a lot of the plumbing, electrical is updated, new floors, trim, interior doors, exterior doors, vinyl, windows, roof, siding, like everything.
Okay. If we could work it out where we buy it from you, and of course we become responsible for the maintenance, repairs, and taxes and insurance and utilities. By the way, what's the taxes and insurance on this?
About 2,000 total, 1,000 each, maybe 1,050, so maybe 2,100 bucks for the year.
What would you, if we worked out the rest, what would you take as a monthly payment, knowing we're responsible for everything?
It's tough. I don't know. I don't know. But I'd really rather sell it.
Yeah.
I'd like to make good money, but I know you guys are in the business of making money, so you probably can't pay great money. So
Yeah, just so you know, we sounds like you do the business too. We buy them two ways. We either, of course, pay cash when they need a crap ton of work at a deep discount, and then like 90% of our business, the majority of our business is like this. We buy them either turnkey or in good shape with and we do pay a good price, but it is a delayed cash sell, and then
right,
we'd either be rolling it up and selling it to an investor as a portfolio, or else we'd end up selling it on lease option and helping a tenant buyer cash out at some point.
right.
But as far as the price, if we close, you got a loan on this?
No, but I'm probably going to soon.
Okay.
Lauren, hard time understanding this. I guess she's new to everything, but basically, she's like, she asked about a lien. I said, not technically, but yes, I do. And she can understand. I'm like, I don't own. There's no lien on that property, but there's a lien on my house for that property. So I don't owe money directly.
Yeah.
Technically, I guess on that house, but the money that's owed in my house is designated for that house. So if that house goes, I want to pay my house off. If
How
that makes
much do
sense.
you owe on your house for this house?
145.
Okay.
So
What
on a credit.
what if do you have a good connection at a local bank where you could just refi this and take out?
Well, I've been refining, and they're ready to term it out.
Okay. Um,
Well,
if
I guess they've been renewing. It's like a yearly line of credit, and they've been renewing it. And they're like, hey, if you're going to keep this balance on here, we need to term it out. So,
Okay. Well, what I would venture to do then, if you want to get a good price and you want to sell right away, is you can either use one of your lenders or I can turn you on to one and finance this house, the Lee Road house, and pay off your line of credit on your house with that term loan on this investment property, and then we'll just buy this one on a wrap from you. Um, if we pay the closing, there's no realtor fees or nothing. Like, what's the least you would take on price?
I don't know. It's a tough call. I mean, I didn't want to take any less than 160. I've got way more than I originally wanted to have, but I don't know. I really think it's worth the one. I mean, there's one right up the street, like identical, but not near as good a shape. I just sold for 172, but back in October, November, I think.
Yeah.
Which is about when I originally listed this house. Of course, I don't know if they wrote closing costs into that price and whatever else, but still,
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't think they could roll in that much stuff to it.
If we could do 155, us paying, would that work for you?
Did you put anything? I know she said you guys don't like to put any money down, but
Usually, if we're paying, right at retail, we buy with nothing down, but we would be paying all closing costs and there's no realtor fees.
I know, but I feel like I could sell for 165 with realtor fees and be right at 155, and I'd get paid out right then and there.
Mhm.
if we could give you the 160 and buy it, pay you out over time, would that work for you?
Uh, how long would it take?
Well, my objective is to turn around and resell it. Of course, I've got a tenant in there right now, so we'll work through that. But normally we turn around and lease option them, and I want to get it cashed out sooner than later because that's when I get to get paid. So we'd be on the same team. I won't make you a promise I can't keep either. Depends.
Right.
Put them in and fresh out of divorce or whatever the case may be that they had that dinged up their credit, and we help them fix what's broke and cash us out. One
What works is, I mean, I know I guess I'd hope your plan wouldn't be to do this. There wouldn't be no money in it for you, but I don't like selling it with nothing down, because if you wanted to walk away for some reason, then you could, I guess.
Yeah. So
if something didn't work out, or you didn't like the numbers weren't working out for you, or whatever the case is, or somebody destroys the house, you can walk away and I'm stuck with a house I just put $50,000 in and it's destroyed.
Look, forgive me. I should have mentioned, of course, first off, you should only do this deal if you're comfortable with it, right? Just an option. But secondly, we've been doing this for, gosh, I started doing this in 2014 and I've done it a few hundred times. So I can only make money if I pay you. So unless me and Lauren and the whole team goes down in a plane crash, you should be just fine. But yes, valid concern. And no, we always close with a real estate attorney. So you would be protected as, us too, of course. And normally we'd close with Borders and Borders. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but.
No.
Yeah. Well, if we could do 160, and close with an attorney, if we could get you comfortable with the documentation, because that's the most important thing. What kind of monthly payment would you accept from us until we paid you off the full 160 cash?
I guess I'd have to figure out how much it's going to cost me.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if I refinance the loan now at 80%, I'd only get a loan for 130. So then that'd be 15 out of pocket to pay off the 145. And I think current rate and everything, 130 is like $1,000 a month. So
that sounds about right.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess they want a little bit more than that because I don't want to just finance it for you. That doesn't do me any good.
Let me see. We have, so it's rents for 1,500 minus utilities 200. I think you're being conservative on that 200, at least for my tenants that I used to pay utilities for.
Well, it's a small house, so everything's relatively pretty cheap. I only got water and gas and electric, and the water and gas together is like 60, $70, and then the electric's like 125, 130.
Okay, not too bad. Okay, so let's see. We
paid trash, I guess. I don't know what the guy does with his trash. I guess I don't know if he paid his bill or takes it to a dumpster or what, but
if we pay you 1,000, and then if we pay 200, that's 1,200. And then we pay taxes and insurance, it's another 180, so we're out 14.
Yeah, I'm not making much money at 1,500. He's just kind of
Yeah, that's great. And then we would be responsible for maintenance and repair. We probably 1,000 a month would be our limit. So we could give you what you want. We could buy it from you for 160. We could pay the closing, and then before closing, you could do the cash out refi on Lee and pay off your HELOC, and then we pay you 1,000 a month until we cash it out and pay you the full 160. In the meantime, we're responsible for maintenance, repairs, and taxes and insurance, so you're free and can move on. What other questions roll through your mind for me right now?
Well, I know you don't want to put any money down, but I think the only way it would work for me is if you put something down. Honestly, if you could, I would probably actually consider it if you put like 15 down. That way I could pay down like I said, 80% of the value. I think I did it at 160, 170. I don't remember what I estimated the appraisal for, but so you'll say 160,000 times 80%. Yeah, it's 128. Oh, 144. So if you could to get a loan at 80% and not have to come out of pocket, that would, we might be on something.
You think?
But I don't really want to do it. I don't want to come out of pocket.
What do you think it'll break for? You said.
I would say I would say at least 160, but I think it could go 170, but you know, I probably will go. Just somebody's opinion, basically. So
Yeah. I'm looking at the comps right now. I see one house down, they just sold for 150. We got a 199, but it's twice the square foot. Doing the math here, 170 times 80% is what they're loaning you, right?
yeah.
70. So like 136. Could you do 5 down?
Mhm. No. I want to.
If we could do 5 down, us paying the closing with our real estate attorney, no realtor fees or closing costs, you get the price you want, and we take over the tenant and they're the break even tenant on a good month.
Right.
And then of course we'll work out, you know, either whether they get to be long term. We'll need a copy of your lease before we close if we do that. But
Right.
what other if we did that, are you the only owner in this house, or you and a spouse, or?
Well, I got married, so yeah, I guess my wife, but
Okay.
she just does whatever I do.
Okay.
Just roll with the flow.
Roll with the punch.
Oh, yeah. I make, I guess, the decisions when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Okay, cool. Cool. Who would you be getting the cash out refi from if you done this?
Probably my local bank that I work with.
Okay. Stockyards or somebody else?
The Magnolia Bank.
Okay. Okay. Well, what if we could do 160 with 5 down, 1,000 a month, and then, you know, taxes, insurance, utilities, all that come over to us? What, like, is that something worth considering? What would you like my next steps to be?
I don't know. It's a tough. I mean, okay.
How soon would you like to get this done if we come to term?
Yeah, I'd like to get rid of that.
What's up, Sydney? Thank you.
I know you're basically paying it, but I'm still basically carrying it.
Yeah, it's a wraparound mortgage is real common, and yeah, we're responsible for everything, you know, all written with the attorney, so you're protected and can just move on, not have to deal with the. You got other rentals too?
No, this is my first one. I was
Okay.
seeing how it goes, and then was gonna maybe do another one, but we had 2 kids since then, and she works, and I kind of run my own business, so it's just busy.
Yeah. Okay.
We were in bid originally, and then we are like, let's just sell it. And then we listed it for a while, and then this guy that's in there was thinking about buying it, and I told him I'd let him move in and rent it month to month, and then he's like, I don't know if I want to buy it, so.
If you rent it to me for 1,500 to pay my utilities, I wouldn't buy it either. I would just rent the darn thing.
Right.
That's funny. All right. Well, we can do this either A, you know, you can stew on it another day or two, or B, if you know, if you're like, hey, no, you know, make it 5,500 and send a purchase agreement. Like the choice is yours. You just let me know what you would like me to do.
Okay. Just send me a and our meet, say, hey, it's Andrew, and then tell me what you do.
Yep.
Step price, down payment, and I'll think on it.
5K down, 1K a month, 160 purchase price, and we would get an appraisal before closing, of course, which you know would happen by proxy when you get the cash out refi done. If we come to term,
oh, would you get a different one?
we would use yours. Yeah. If we did this, you know, we connected say tomorrow and you're like thumbs up, let's do it. Lauren, Andrew, like this is best for me. How soon would you like to move to closing?
I mean, if I decide to do it, then I can close as quick as I want to, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Depends. I guess I don't know how that would work. I guess if I cash out refi, I don't know if it would make a difference, but
Yeah. Normally in
as
that
far
case,
as
when there's a cash out refi involved, we would put, because normally we would just put like a 15 or 30 day timeline. When there's a cash out
yeah.
refi, because I know that's going to take you probably 3 weeks, we would put a 45-day timeline. And then as soon as your cash out's done, then we'd already have the title work ran at Borders and Borders and immediately wrap up after that. So probably be looking at a mid-April closing to be realistic.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then you could just keep, I'm assuming your guys paying on the first of the month.
Well, my line of credit, I don't even know exactly when it comes out, but you're talking about the guy that's paying me?
Yeah. Yeah. Your renter.
Oh, it's like mid-month.
Okay. But if you collect before closing, you would just, you could just keep that rent, of course. Did he put a deposit up?
See, no.
Okay.
Oh, he did, but he's just like, kind of weird. He's like, he's like, I plan on buying, but I don't think I want to. I feel kind of bad. You can just keep the deposit. I'm like,
Oh, interesting. How much deposit did he put up?
it's 1,500 with the rent once. So I guess he technically did put a deposit, but
Okay, but not a refundable one. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll just send you a text as soon as we hang up, and then you free about this time tomorrow to connect and go over any other questions you come up with?
Yeah. Most of the day.
All right, cool. All right, we'll hit you up. Me and Lauren hit you up about this time tomorrow, and then if you're digging it, we'll set it up to be a win-win, and if not, we'll part as friends and follow up in a couple months and see what's happening.
All right, sounds like a plan.
All right, good talking to you, Jacob. You have a good day.
You too.
All right, bye for now. All right, put your questions in the chat. Put a Q in front of them, and we will pop them up on the screen, and I will answer them. Lauren in the house, shout out to you. We're going to send a quick text over to this gentleman. Recapping what we said. Boom, 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 boom. All right, questions.
Question from Rick De Jesus. Can he meet you halfway? Do you see it on the screen? Can he meet you halfway? You're at 0, he's at 15K. Can you meet in the middle?
I don't like that plan because I don't want Lauren to have to put 10K down. But yes, in theory, that's a great idea. And I prefer to stick at 5K. I personally would lose the deal over it because I just wouldn't put 10K down in this house because it's going to take me a while to get it back because I can't go lease option it right away because we got a tenant in there. And so I'm going to be sitting on this thing. And if I decide to get rid of the tenant, I'm going to be making that payment for 2 or 3 months. Not me, but in this case, Lauren. And so, yes, great idea, very potential, but I wouldn't do it. I would just tell Jacob, take it or leave it. Any other questions?
We had a question earlier prior to this. And I thought it'd be nice for you to kind of talk about where else other people can watch you other than YouTube.
Yes. Sweet. You can watch me. So for our coaching community, you guys, of course, are in the Zoom. Shout out to my Zoom crew. Judith is on my screen, and Marlon and Frankie and Shobin and Tom and Russell, seeing your beautiful faces. You can also watch me on Facebook and LinkedIn and TikTok and Instagram. At least that's what my team said. So you can go check it out and make sure that that's all true. All right.
I have another question from Krista. When you were going over the Market Watch update, her question was, do you expect these changes might be impacting sellers' fear-based reactions to investors calling them?
Yes. 100%. And what that means is it's never been more important. And Christy, you're good at this, I know, because you're part of our coaching community. It's never been more important than right now to be able to ask questions and build rapport. And you heard with this guy, it was maybe, potentially. And the only difference is you heard this guy's hot button. He knows he's setting him a house. He knows good and well he's not selling it for 160. He's already tried. He knows that the market is not what it was in October. He'd already sold the darn thing. And so he's realizing right now he's putting a tenant in. And I guarantee you, if Lauren doesn't buy this house right now, the moment a water heater goes out or the moment a repair comes and he's got a $2,000 expense, he'll be hitting Lauren back up going, oh, crap, I'm burying more money in this stupid house. And so, yes, ask great questions, solve the seller's problems, and make ridiculous offers, which is another reason, by the way. A year ago, I might have bumped that up to 10 or 15K down and said, gosh, we can get about that back from a non-refundable deposit. I'm okay to break even on the front end. Now, there's no reason, because we got way more deals right behind it. In fact, if he doesn't take 5K now and he calls us back in a month, I'm going to recommend Lauren goes back down to $0 down. And so just know we're in a buyer's marketplace. So don't ever get emotionally attached to a deal. Solve problems and contract deals. All right. Next, we're calling Les. This is Joanne's lead on Greenfield. And could we get that QR code up on the screen again? Just for everybody who has just logged in, I am doing a free.
You have read left.
I'm doing a free training Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday next week of where you can find deals, how to negotiate them, how to underwrite them, and how to sell them quickly in today's market. All right. Hey, he's calling me back. Who's this? That ain't him.
Do you have like an unlimited talk and text plan?
I do.
What are you, like Verizon, T-Mobile?
Yes. AT&T. But use the CRM to call your sellers, because if you use your cell phone, unless you're new, if you got like 5 people, then it's no big deal. But if you've got a few hundred, you got to get to that CRM, which, by the way, the team is setting up so I can get back to the computer CRM version and not on the phone version. So I can actually play it through my speakers. But
this gentleman has been on the live stream for quite some time, Be Back Doc. He's asking where you're finding these deals. All he sees on Facebook is just realtor listings. You got any tips on that?
Yes, I do. We called Terry on Carrollton, Shobna. That was your lead. They did not answer. If you could highlight that on you. So Les and Terry didn't answer. Where we're finding deals. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Facebook Marketplace. About 2/3 of them are going to be wholesalers and realtors. I still go to Facebook Marketplace and I put house for sale by owner, and I still get about 1/3 that are FSBOs, and we buy houses from it. So don't stop doing it just because it's realtors. By the way, if you call a realtor, here's the question to ask. If you get on the phone with what you thought was a FSBO and it's a realtor, Mr. or Mrs. Realtor, if I pay your commission up front, would your seller entertain doing a payments over time type deal? And if you ask that question many times, the realtor will clue on the seller, and I've bought a handful of houses that way. Now, again, the realtor has to get paid from somewhere, probably you. So that is going to be less money on the front end. But hey, it's a way to get offers accepted. And secondly, go to Zillow. Go to Zillow and just type in house for sale by owner. And if you start looking up house for sale by owners, yes, Lauren says Zillow FSBOs. Thank you, Lauren. If you look up house for sale by owner on Zillow, that's another place. And depending on your experience level, you can go to like iSpeed to Lead and buy their leftover leads for like $1 or $2 a piece. Or you can do the high quality, high cost leads, right? So just be cognizant of that and know that there is an abundance. By the way, hey, it's Andrew calling you back on the house on Smithville. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Did I catch you at a good time? This is Brian on Smithville. All right, cool. I wanted to get back with you. I think you was talking to my partner Russell, who was talking about potentially buying the house, but I think you had some questions and stuff. You moved to Houston, right?
Not yet. I'm planning.
Getting ready to. Okay, cool. Moving for job or family or what?
Just that's where I want to live at. I don't have any family out there or anything, but
Okay. Houston's a great area, man. How long you lived in Dayton?
about 2.5 years now.
Nice. Okay. So question for you. You have a debt of 135, right? Anya, can you make sure everyone on Zoom is muted out for me? I'm getting some feedback.
I'm fine if I have to come out of it, just even, but I don't really have to pay.
Okay. So if we buy, who's the debt with?
It's through Rocket Mortgage now.
Right. Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, mortgage. What's your monthly payment, brother?
1,200 was it's with the taxes and insurance and all that.
1,200. Okay. And then two and a half years. So do you know about what your rate is? You probably in the fives or sixes.
7.25.
Okay. Is there any work we have to do on the house?
Basically, just like cosmetic stuff.
So if we was to buy it, take over the debt, close with our real estate attorney, you would sell it for what's owed. You said you owe about 135 on it, right?
Oh, 128.
What? Do you have any idea what it would appraise for?
Well, I've gotten like what the house is estimated to be worth now, but I didn't get an appraisal.
Okay. So if we agree to buy it and we take over that debt, we close with a real estate attorney, we pay the closing, how soon would you be looking to wrap it up?
As soon as you can.
Like,
Yeah. And we've been getting rid of a bunch of stuff and packing up, so we're pretty much.
you the only owner, or you and a wife, or?
It's just me.
Um, we so two more questions. When we do this, you already get your house in Houston, or are you still looking?
No, I'm still looking.
Okay. So I want to make sure we time it so that,
Well, I have a place to stay at, so
Oh, okay.
I'm here for a little while. So
Okay. Okay. Um, we'll want to, of course, our next steps would be, because we can definitely, and assuming it looks like the pictures, we can definitely do the 128 and take all that over and close it up, in less than 30 days. But we will want to come do just a quick walkthrough, before we close up on it. Will that be a challenge to a schedule to get in to see it sometime here next week?
I mean, yeah, you can come next week.
Okay. Okay, cool. So
I have a little bit of a weird schedule, but my fiance will be here.
Okay. Okay, cool. What's your is days or evenings better?
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Okay. All right. Let me see what we got. So our next steps would be what our attorney has us do is before we truck our butt out there, is we go ahead and just send our simple
2-page purchase agreement over. Just details out what we just said, which is that we're going to buy the house. We're going to take over the Rocket Mortgage on what's called a wraparound mortgage with our real estate attorney, and we'll be responsible for the maintenance, repairs, taxes, and insurance. And we'll close on it in under 30 days. And then, you be free to move to Texas. What other questions, if any, do you have before I send over that purchase agreement for your okay?
I guess I don't have any questions.
Okay. When would you be near a computer to okay that purchase agreement for me?
I can be near a computer here in a little bit.
Okay. Like an hour or like 2 hours?
Probably about an hour.
So I'm going to send you that here in probably like 30 minutes. And then when you get near your computer here in an hour or so, you can reach out to me if you have any questions specifically on the agreement. And what'll happen as soon as you okay that agreement on DocuSign, we'll send it over to our real estate attorney and start title search. Our attorney requires we do that just to make sure there's no other liens on it other than that Rocket mortgage debt. Payments are current and taxes are current, right?
Yes, sir.
So they'll run a quick title search, and then we'll give you a call back probably Saturday to put something on the schedule to come to a quick walkthrough and grab some photos next week and get this thing moved forward to a close. Do you have a preference on which title company you close with, or are you good with us just using our regular closing company?
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay. All right. We'll just send that over and we'll get that started. Then as soon as we get it okayed from you, let me make sure I get your email right, Brian. Can you give me your email again?
It's
At yahoo.com. Okay. All right, brother. You have an email from us within less than an hour, and then we'll expect to get that back from you here in an hour or so. And like I said, if you have questions or something in the agreement that it's just 2 pages, so it's simple. But if there's anything that pops up that you have questions about, let me know. Otherwise, we'll get that sent over to the attorney later tonight or first thing in the morning and start this thing moving forward.
sounds good.
Congratulations, brother. Looking forward to working this out.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, we'll talk soon. Bye for now.
Yep. See you.
Let's go. All right. So we got so much more to cover. By the way, shout out to Russell. For sending over that lead. Russell, any help you need, reach out to your coach and let me know, of course, if you need any support or backup on that. Make sure that purchase agreement is sent out to that gentleman again, and then we'll follow up. Make sure you follow up with him in less than 90 minutes, just tagging in. Any questions you guys have, drop them in the chat with a Q. And make sure that you are scanning. Can you make sure, Anya, everyone's muted? I'm getting some feedback again. For the challenge, for the wealth building challenge, starting next week. Anya, I'm still getting that feedback. Will you go look over the list and see if somebody has some feedback or something's muted? Not muted, rather. Thank you so much. So make sure that you are scanning the QR code on your screen or clicking the link in the chat to hop in the challenge starting on Monday. It's free training where I show you how to do these deals like I'm doing, how to talk to sellers, how to sell houses, and how to get everything rolling in a profound way for 2026. Because in my opinion, there's never been a better time than right now. Everybody shout out Russell in the chat. Hey, you're welcome, brother. Everybody shout out Russell in the chat. Give him a great big congratulations. All right. I have a quick little 30-second video for you. Actually, hopefully it's 90 seconds because I got to pee, Stephanie. I got a 90-second video for you, and then we got more stuff to cover. And Valerie is joining me when we come back. All right? Well, Stephanie's getting ready to play that video.
Before I joined DOL, I felt very discouraged and didn't have much confidence at all about doing deals.
Before DOL, our situation as a team looked frustrating.
So before REOS and this event, felt like I was working with outdated information.
Before DOL, my situation looked chaotic, undisciplined.
I decided to come to this event because I'm new to the real estate world. It's such an extensive opportunity.
I decided to come to this event because it was part of the system package I had purchased and jumped in on.
Right after I joined, my coach immediately that first day of the Truka workshop, we had to do live seller calls.
The biggest way DOL has helped us is giving us an idea of what's possible.
This event is really reassuring because I know I'm getting the latest and greatest stuff that's working for not just 1 or 2 people, but 100 people.
Being live here has been just the energy in the room. Everyone is so excited, so helpful. It's like a family type of feel here.
The biggest shift for me since being here live has been the connections and seeing all the pieces fall into place for making this a reality.
The DOL program has helped enhance me to that level. I'm ready to go.
So last week, I believe it was last week. No, it wasn't. It was the week before. We got several duds and we was on the live stream. Today we are having an incredible time. People's answering and we're negotiating deals. What a great time. And what's happened is 2 weeks ago, we was getting some duds and we didn't get any deals. And I got off the chat. And as soon as I got off the live stream, I realized one of our students had submitted a deal I hadn't got to. So I said, well, shoot, I'm just going to record. Live stream's over. I recorded and negotiated the deal. And immediately they said yes to all the questions and sent it over to the student to get a purchase out. And I said, well, that was cool. And then I realized that it happened behind the scenes. Nobody noticed. And out of I thought I would have actually got that video to you, Stephanie, so we could play it for everybody today. But that's what happens sometimes. So, and I share that because this is about inspiring you to do more deals more of the time. It's why every single day next week, Monday through Thursday, I'm going to be live inspiring you to go get more deals because we're in an exciting time, but it's not just what happens in the hour or two that we're together. It's what happens after that with the ripple effect. So make sure you're calling sellers. Very, very excited for each of you. So let's dive in. Let's bring up the incredible Valerie to stage. Oh, by the way, before we do that, I hear we have some questions. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. This is from Craig. Craig is asking, hey, how does it work when a seller is trying to buy a home somewhere else because they still technically have this loan?
It's a good question. So number one is I'm not an attorney, don't claim to be. I'm not a lender, don't claim to be. I'm not a CPA, don't claim to be. I will tell you from my experience, Craig, I have some incredible lenders who I'm friends with, which, by the way, I will connect sellers to from time to time. What my experience has been with a wraparound mortgage, Craig, is called a wraparound, and it gives what's called a debt wash. Now, not every lender will necessarily see it that way, but I have lenders who do. And what happens is this gentleman what's his name, Brian, if Brian owes Rocket Mortgage $1,200 a month, and Brian goes to get a new home in Texas, from my past experience, I don't know Brian's credit history, I don't know his situation, but the wraparound mortgage that we give him has allowed what's called a debt wash. So it means Brian owes Rocket Mortgage $1,200 a month, but Russell's Trust or LLC owes Brian $1,200 a month. So it's a pass through. 1,200 in, 1,200 out. Now, to be very clear, Russell doesn't pay Brian directly. Russell pays Rocket Mortgage directly. But the documents show as such that it is the pass through by our attorney's setup. So that's what has been a huge win for us. And again, if there's ever been a concern, and I've told sellers this, I said, if there is a challenge around getting your new house, then you shouldn't do this. We only want to set people up to win. And at the same time, I know that if he finds a house in Houston and he needs that all that documentation has already been prepared by our attorney. We have the connects. And of course, all of you in the coaching community, you have our lender connects as well. All right, next question.
Are all these for sale by owners or unlisted on MLS?
These are all for sale by owners. That is by far my preference. They are not listed on MLS. However, there is ways to get deals accepted, especially in today's market, from the MLS, so nothing wrong with that.
This is related to the challenge next week. What time next week, Monday through Friday or Thursday?
What's up, Sue? So good to see you, my friend. We are going to be live at 7 p.m. Eastern. So 4 PST, 7 EST. Good stuff. All right. Are we ready to bring up Valerie now?
Ooh.
Let's go. Hey, there she is. Oh my gosh, Valerie Flowers. Give it up for Valerie in the chat. How in the world are you, my friend? You look amazing. However, I cannot hear you.
There you go.
Now I can hear your beautiful voice. How are you feeling?
I'm fabulous. How about yourself?
I am awesome. You are someone, Valerie, I was so excited to have you on today because you're someone whose energy is absolutely contagious. We had the honor of being together last week in, where the heck were we? Vegas. We were in Vegas together. And we were at the retreat, and you sat front and center. I love that about you. You're front and center, and I'm telling, anytime I needed some energy, I just looked at Valerie. Like, I usually just drink coffee. No, I didn't need, like, you just look at Valerie and I'm energized because she's sharing the love. And I thank you for being that, Valerie. But if you don't mind, share with everybody, who are you, where are you from, and what are you working on?
Well, I am from Paris, California. I'm Valerie Flowers. I just turned 66 years old last month. And I'll tell you why I mention that, because I've been following these two gentlemen, Andrew and Leo, for about 2 years now. It's coming up on 2 years. When I first joined the one challenge that you put on, it was 60 days of you pouring into us, half an hour each and every day, except Sundays. And I just thought that was so special, so very special. So after the challenge was over, I was so lost, but I didn't have the mindset at the time or I thought, well, Valerie, I don't have the money. I can't afford to sign up. So I just kept going, watching you on YouTube and any other challenge that you put on, I was there. So at the last challenge in October was a game changer for me. Something just felt different about your pouring into. It was extra special. And I decided at that point to book the discovery call. And I'm telling you, everyone, it changed my life. It took about a month and a half for us to find the appropriate funding. So, and I tell you that because even if you do make the discovery call and you feel like this is where you need to be, just be patient because it took me 2 years to get to this point. So even if you don't qualify for whatever, now just put that in your tool belt and realize that it's going to happen, and you just keep forging forward. So after I made the discovery call and Mercedes and I got busy trying to, we did this option and that option, and it seemed like it was kind of hopeless, I'm just saying. But we didn't give up, and here we are. I have I came aboard Truka as DOL in December 15th. Within 2 weeks, my cousin came to me and said, I'm running away from the house. I'm just leaving the house. I was like, what? I'm getting a divorce. I'm just leaving the house. We're a little behind on the payments and this, that, and the other. I can't do it anymore. Hold up. I think I might be able to help. So I gathered all the information. I brought the deal to you. You called my cousin. You negotiated everything, structured it. It was a debt takeover. Now, the wonderful, magical thing about this is I wasn't ready to deploy the Boslow method at that time. So I assigned that debt takeover. My thing is really lagging, isn't it?
You're doing perfectly.
Okay, excellent. Let's keep going. So I was able to assign the debt takeover to one of the coaches and the Freedom Lifers. And she paying me my assignment fee. I'm so thrilled about that because I needed the capital and I wasn't ready to deploy the Boswell method yet. Yeah. So everything worked out, and within the end of this month, we're closing. Again, I've been in this space for 3 years. I've never had my first deal. Just 2 weeks into Truka, bam, here we go. So now I'm about to get my second property under contract. Here we go again.
Oh, I didn't know about this one.
Yes, I am. It's my son, actually. And I'm so thrilled about it because I've been trying to deploy the Novation since July. It's not working. So here we are now. I'm really comfortable with my Truka family behind me, my coach, David. I know I can do this. I'm going to get it under contract. And guess what? Boslow. I'm going to put the leaser in there. Kay's going to help me do that. I've been in communication with all of my family. I mean, let's go. I'm so excited. And I've got a couple of other situations that I'm going to bring to you. I mean, things are just exploding. And I'm so thrilled. I'm so thrilled. And I'm so grateful for you because you have brought all of this to fruition for me.
Thank you for sharing that. And first off, I love your hoodie.
Thank you. You like that?
Beautiful. But thank you, Valerie. And I share that you did the work, except you got out of your comfort zone. And that brings me so much joy because I know me. And I know that all of us, probably every one of us listening here, we can tend to live in a certain comfort zone, whatever that is for you. For some of you, that's a certain annual salary. For some of you, that's a certain number of deals a year for a comfort zone. And when you start to get out of that, doing the thing you've never done before, it's going, oh my gosh, should I do it? And we start to feel that imposter syndrome. And shout out to you for just plugging in and taking action. I have to ask, so how did this come up? Did you tell your friends and your family you're buying houses and now some of them are coming to you? Because this is very rare. Most of the time people come in and they're like, they found one on Marketplace on Facebook or something. And you started out with like a family member approaching you.
Yes. And I did with my son. I just happened to send him my new website when I got it up and running. And he's like, oh, this is what you're doing. Yes, son, this is. With my cousin, it was not, it was after she had told me, the drama of her situation that I realized, oh, I can help you too. And again, this was only because of your pouring out, because I wasn't confident in the debt takeover situation until I came aboard to Truka. So yeah, game changing.
What was your experience? So you said you've been following for a couple of years. What was your experience in real estate before that? Had you been a realtor? Had you done deals? Had you looked into it? Been to other seminars? Was we your first stop? Tell me about that.
Actually, I have been I signed up for 2 other mentorships, the Women's Real Estate Investing Network, and I got value out of the fundamentals. And then another one, which is based here in California, full of flippers. So, and I know how much you love that, Andrew. But, if something falls into my lap, I know what to do with it because I'm not bringing that one to you. I'm just saying.
Right.
So, I have been part of other mentorships and again, got great value. But Truka's different. You are different. What you present and how you present it, and you are in the people growing business is what I've determined. And when I came aboard and started just really leaning into your guidance and your encouragement, um, it just it just happened for me. It I haven't had to make all of the calls that some of the other people have done, and I will get to mastering that. But yeah, people are just coming to just word of mouth, relationship building, like you teach us to do. Let everybody know what you're doing. And yes, when they're getting into trouble, here we are. Although, I don't think I have any more distressed family members. So I'm going to have to get busy on those phones by now. I'm just saying.
It's funny. So something I'll share with you, and Valerie, I love your testament of that for two reasons. First off, for anybody who doesn't know, by the way, I retired from flipping a few years ago. It's my least favorite form of business because it's a lot of freaking work. And so I like Bob's Law. I like deals that you don't have to work on so much. When it comes, though, to doing this business, and every one of you listening to this, telling the people around you that you're doing real estate is a gift. Now, here's the challenge. Some of us, as I was surrounded by people who didn't understand real estate. And so some were saying, you got this, Andrew. And others were going, be careful. I know people who've lost money in real estate. And I know that's a reality for some. Except you said, you know what, I'm going to serve my family through this, which leads me to the other part, what you just said. The fact you're helping your cousin with this and your son with this is many times people come into this. The people that we attract, I love their hearts to help others. And I don't want to do the deal unless everybody's going to win. Now, that being said, of course, you, the business owner, you got to make money, else there's no business, right? So you got to make money and everyone must win. The seller must win. The person, the lease tenant buyer must, everybody, you must set them up to win. Now, also, every single tenant buyer that's ever come through my houses, not all of them have all ended up going and getting their loan and cashing out. I set them up to win, but I've had divorces happen and death happen and different things happen to people that cause them to not be able to finish fulfilling their plan. And I share that because as we move into this business, being able to just serve at higher levels is what this is about. And that's what you embody, Valerie. What was the shift for you? So you follow along for a couple of years. In October, you're like, hey, I gotta do something with these guys. What was the shift? What happened?
I think it was God's divine timing. I think everything that I have gone through and learned and experienced to this point in this space just became full circle at that moment when I made the decision to book the discovery call. It was my time. This is my season. And the signed contracts and all of the things are a symptom of that. I'm confident that this is where I'm supposed to be, this time right here, surrounded by you and all of my wonderful Truka Freedom Family life family. I mean, it's time. This is my season. I feel the pouring in, and now it's my responsibility to push it back out and bless others because I'm receiving such abundance. It's time to push it out there, like you teach us.
Yeah, what a gift! Thank you, thank you again for sharing that. Because I think somebody watching this, and maybe because I know all of us go through seasons, right? Maybe there's a season you're like, I feel stuck. Maybe there's a season where you feel like, hey, things are working, but like just not enjoying it. That's a lot of problem I find with people who are successfully doing deals is they get to a point where it's like, it doesn't bring the excitement. It's like another deal. Got it. And whenever you are doing it to serve, that excitement never runs out. Because, yeah, another deal happened. Yeah, hundreds of deals has happened, except I get to pour into more people and help more people. And that's the heart I see. And that's why I love every one of you on Zoom who are here. You go, oh my gosh, I just want to help more people. I want to serve more people. And now, if that's your mission, it's bigger than you. This business never has to get old. In fact, no matter what business you're doing, it doesn't have to get old because every day is a gift. What's your philosophy, Valerie, around life that keeps you so upbeat? And you've just come through some very difficult times in your personal life, I know, and some challenges. What keeps you so upbeat and positive and moving forward like you do?
Prayer, my faith. And I'm telling you, I borrow the energy level from you a lot of the time. I don't know if you feel it, but I sometimes I have to deplete you because again, I'm 66, so the energy I have to really take care of myself in order to maintain a certain energy level so that I can do this business for as long as I need to on a daily basis and do all the things that I need to do. But yeah, my faith and my prayer life and leaning into you and my coaches and whatnot, they just propel me into such excitement, and I'm just giddy at where I am within the Truka space. It, being surrounded by all of you and being encouraged and lifted up, that is really that feeds fuels me. It feeds into my ability to keep things light and uplifted because you guys are pouring into me. So what else can I do? But let it shine.
I love
So
that
yeah.
perspective. You said something there, and I think, the Bible talks about iron sharpen iron. The Bible
Yes.
talks about, and I believe what you just said is abundance. If God can create the whole world out of nothing, like, there should never be a worry of lack. And if I look at it that way, and I go, my gosh, I can literally inspire Valerie, and she can. I love every. By the way, I admire your ability to just show up with smile and energy and real all at the same time. And I want for anybody watching this who goes, gosh, Valerie's got an incredible personality. Maybe you're more of an introvert, or maybe you're somewhere in the middle. That's okay too. Understand that when you show up fully authentic, because that's what I love about Valerie and Lauren, who I had on recently, and Diane, and so many others, is each of the crew is just real. You're you. You're who you are. And I think that's the gift that God wants every one of us to have, is how do I serve more people and be more authentically me? Because that's the only way you'd be happy. God didn't make us to be some knockoff version of somebody else. He made us to be the one and the only Valerie Flowers. He made us to be Andrew Schlag, Lauren Wick, and I see that gift, and it shines through you beautifully. I have to ask you this before we wrap, Valerie. What's the one piece of advice? Somebody's listening to this, they're watching this, and they're newer in the real estate investing business, or they've been doing some deals, maybe feel stuck. What's the piece of advice you have for them? How should they get to the next level?
I would say the term that you always tell us about, it's not what it costs us, but it's what it makes us. Lean into that. Invest in yourself and your future, because this level of encouragement and guidance and mentorship, it's worth it. You will absolutely feel the benefit and the value of this level of mentorship. And I know that, plenty of people are saying, but Valerie, I don't have the money. I can't afford. And I get that. You see that, what I did there, Andrew?
I see exactly what you did.
So And I understand that, and I have compassion for that. But it just takes time. If you're just resilient and tenacious, and this is what you want, which I from my experience, it's what you need.
Mm.
Just be patient and work it out. Deal with the team. They will help develop something special for you when the time is right. And that is my advice to you. Lean in and just wrap your brain around. It's not really what it costs you. It's what is going to make you. That is huge. And I feel that in my heart.
It's a writer downer.
That's a writer
And
downer.
I appreciate you sharing that, Valerie. And I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful you're part of the family. And I'm excited. I'm excited for everyone who's hearing this because there's a lot of inspiration and butterfly effect that's going to happen from this. And thank you just so much for being you and your wonderful husband, Tyrone. You guys are both incredible.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Andrew, for everything. Everything. Thank you.
Give it up for Valerie. I love that. All right. So that is going. I have lots more to do, but I also have a meeting. So here's what I'm going to do for you guys. That's going to conclude our live stream in 90 seconds. What's going to happen is you have a QR code on your screen. There's a link in the chat. You're going to be able to join us on the challenge every single night, Monday through Thursday next week, where I'm going to break down what to do to stay on the cutting edge in this current market and just good old fashioned guerrilla marketing. How the heck you're finding deals, negotiating them, underwriting them, closing them, and selling them fast, I might add. So we're going to talk about that. I know that I have some more leads to get to, and I know I have some LOIs to write for one of our, alongside one of our Freedom Life family members who is putting an offer in on a 32 unit apartment complex. Shout out to Joe and Judith. And so what I'm going to do is we're going to wrap this up. However, this link, let me double check that I'm telling you the correct thing here. This link, I am going to be back in 15 minutes, knocking out those LOIs and knocking out Steve's lead. And I think somebody else had a question that was in the private chat. So hop back in this Zoom link in 15 minutes. We're concluding now. But for anybody in the Zoom room, grab this same link, and in 15 minutes, you're welcome to pop in. If you don't need to, don't worry about it. I don't care if it's me and one person or me and 40 people. Makes me no difference, but I got to do this work anyway, so hop in and watch if you want. All right? Be blessed. For all of you on the live stream or all of you who can't hop back in 15 minutes, I will see you next week. Same place, same time for the Wednesday Deal Room. Actually, I will see you much sooner because you'll be hanging out with me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday on the Nightly Challenge. All right? Be blessed, guys. Have a great one.